Welcome to all of you. My name is Dr. Neha Desai from Department of Chemistry, RBNB College, Shri Rampur. Today I am going to deliver a lecture on the adsorption chromatography. In the last lecture we have started our discussion on a topic HPLC method, and in HPLC method particularly on the adsorption chromatography. We have discussed a little bit about the adsorption chromatography, that is specifically we have discussed the interaction of the adsorbate and the adsorbent, and depending on the interaction how the separation of the sample takes place in case of adsorption chromatography. So there are number of interactions associated in the adsorption chromatography, such as dipole-dipole interaction, hydrogen bonding interaction, and the pi bonded interaction. Now after this we will begin with the next part, that is the adsorption strain and how the K value increases. So we will see the series with respect to the adsorption strength. In case of the adsorption strength, the K value increases in the following order. So what is the arrangement of the different types of molecule according to their adsorption strength, that part we will see. Saturated hydrocarbon having a less adsorption strength as compared to the olefins. Olefins, they have further less adsorption order than aromatics. Then these aromatic compounds, they have adsorption strength less than that of the nitro compounds. After that, the nitro compounds, they have further less adsorption strength as compared to the esters. Esters, they have a comparable adsorption strength with respect to the aldehydes. Aldehydes, it is also having the similar adsorption strength to the ketones. After the ketones, the next adsorption strength for the adsorption chromatography is alcohols. Then alcohols, they have nearly same adsorption strength with the amines. After the amines, they have a less adsorption strength as compared to the sulfones. And after the sulfones, they have less absorption strength than sulfoxide. After the sulfoxide, next come in picture, that is the amides. And lastly, the carboxylic acid. So this is the sequence for the adsorption strength of the different molecules as per their functional group. So all these molecules, they are arranged with the increase in the K value. So this arrangement is done according to the increase in the K value. After discussing the adsorption strain, there are some of the conclusions which can be drawn when we are using silica as a stationary phase in the adsorption chromatography. So while studying the adsorbate-adsorbent interaction using silica as a stationary phase, some of the conclusions can be drawn. If a molecule it has a several functional groups, then the most polar one determines the retention property. So whenever you are interested in the molecule, and if the molecule is possessing the number of functional groups, if the molecule it is possessing the number of functional group, then the functional group which is most polar it will determine the retention properties of the molecule. After studying this sequence, the next is what are the conclusions that we can draw from this discussion. The first conclusion that can be drawn, it is the silica gel in the chromatography bed is surrounded by all the sides by the mobile phase. So the first thing is that the silica gel in the chromatography bed it is surrounded by the mobile phase from all the sides. So the solvent it will occupy the active sites which are present on the silica. As we have discussed in our earlier lecture, the silica it is having a selenol group as an active site. So it will occupy the active sites present on the silica, and all the sample molecules they will get adsorbed at the active site. So this is the second conclusion, that is all the sample molecules get adsorbed on the active site of stationary phase. So this is the second conclusion drawn. Now the third conclusion which can be drawn from the adsorption chromatography is that all the sample molecules they arrange themselves nearer to the active sites of the solid surface. That means these functional groups, all the molecules arrange themselves in such a manner that their functional groups they are nearer to the active sites of the stationary phase. So this is the third conclusion. molecules, they arrange themselves in such a manner that their functional groups are nearer to the active sites of a silica. Now, after studying these conclusions regarding to the adsorption chromatography, the next point of interest is that the strength of interaction. That means the strength of interaction between the adsorbate and the adsorbent, it will depend on the functional group of the sample as well as the steric factor. So this is our fourth and last conclusion, that is in case of adsorption chromatography, the interaction depends on the functional group as well as the steric factor. So the strength of the interaction depends only on the functional group and steric factor. So these are the different conclusions drawn from the adsorption chromatography. Now the next is the heliotropic series. So what is meant by the word heliotropic series? An heliotropic series is a series of a compound or a listing of various compounds in order of their eluting power. So what we can define about the heliotropic series, that is an heliotropic series is a listing of various compounds in the order of their eluting power. What is meant by the eluting power, or what we can say about the eluting power? So eluting power of a solvent is largely a measure of how well the solvent can pull the analyte. So eluting power is nothing but the measure of how well the solvent can pull the analyte of the adsorbent. So the next term that we will discuss, that is about the eluting power. Eluting power is a measure of solvent. Eluting power is a measure of solvent, or a measure of how well the solvent can pull the analyte from adsorbent. So this is about the eluting power. Now the next important thing is the we have to see the actual heliotropic series based on the adsorption strength of a molecule and based on the eluting power of the molecule. So these two sequences are very important in case of adsorption chromatography. Normally such a series, it will progress with the non-polar solvent, then moderately polar solvent, and finally it ends with the polar solvent. So the first sequence that we will study, it is about the adsorption strength. So the sequence for the adsorption strength is that saturated hydrocarbons, or alkyl halides, then after that unsaturated hydrocarbons, alkyl halides, aromatic hydrocarbons, and aryl halides. Then polyhydrated hydrocarbons, polyhalogenated hydrocarbons, then less than the ethers, less than the esters, which is further less than the aldehydes and ketones, which is further less than the alcohols, which is further less than the acids and bases. So this is the sequence based on the adsorption strength. Saturated hydrocarbons or alkyl halides less than the unsaturated hydrocarbons, and alkyl halides less than the aromatic hydrocarbons, and aryl halides less than the polyhalogenated hydrocarbons, less than the ethers, esters, aldehydes and ketones, less than the alcohols, which is further less than the acids and bases. Now after this, the most important thing is the arrangement of the solvents as per the least eluting power to the greatest eluting power. That is the sequence of the different solvents from the least eluting power to the highest eluting power. So this is our next series, that is arrangement of the solvent as per the eluting power. So this arrangement, it is from least eluting power to highest eluting power. What is the sequence for it? Hexane or pentane? Which is less than the cyclohexane. Which is further less than the benzene. Which is again further less than the dichloromethane. Which is again less than the chloroform. Which is less than the ether, which is further less than the ethyl acetate, which is less than the acetone, less than the methanol, which is again less than the ethanol, less than the pyridine, which is again less than the acetic acid, which is finally less than the H2O. So this is the arrangement of the different solvents as per their eluting power, that is from the least eluting power to the highest eluting power. Here non-polar solvent at the beginning, moderately polar solvent in the middle one, and the highly polar solvent at the end. So this is about the eleotropic series or the eluting power. In eleotropic series, two parts are very important, that is the adsorption strain and the arrangement of the different solvent as per their eluting power. So in today's lecture we have discussed about the different types of interactions that taking place and what are the conclusions can be drawn in the adsorption chromatography, and we have also studied about the eleotropic series. Then in the next lecture we will study about the selectivity properties. Thank you.